Hey there! If you have found this video, that means that you have found the Common Ground audio blog, which I'm very excited to be bringing to you from my office, which I guess is the Common Ground studio. We can call it that, I guess. But if you found this, I'm very excited that you are here and listening. We're going to be talking about what we had talked about this past Wednesday, October 1st. We talked about some really cool stuff, and then I want to go over some announcements also, just so you can stay informed. But again, I'm really excited that you have found this video. It's been kind of a rough go trying to get this kind of stuff up. But here it is on YouTube, and you found it, and so that is awesome. Congratulations. I feel like you should get a prize, but I don't have one for you, so sorry about that. Anyway, if you don't know who I am, my name is Josh. I'm the youth director here at Otterbein United Brethren Church for Common Ground, our youth group. And this year we are going to be talking about some really neat stuff. Our theme for this year is called Go Deeper. And if you can see the picture here that's up on the screen now, it's you see the picture of a tree with deep roots, and the idea from this comes from the Psalms. Let me read it to you. It comes from Psalm 1. It says this: "Blessed is the man or woman who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, or stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seat of mockers, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaves do not wither. Whatever he does prospers." And so the idea that the psalmist is trying to give us there, the picture that the psalmist is trying to give us there, is one of, for someone who follows God's ways, who lives their life according to how God says we should live life. They're like this tree that is by a stream and just is constantly green, constantly strong. The idea of being by the stream is that the tree can draw its nutrients, draw its whatever it needs from the stream, and that's how it is with us with God. Whenever we dig our roots into God and how He says we should live life, we become strong, very strong, just like this tree that's planted by the water. All that we can draw, all that we need from God. And so that's what we're going to be talking about this year, going deeper in our relationship with God. And, perhaps you have are listening to this and you have no idea what that means. You have no idea what I'm talking about. And you know what? That's okay. I encourage you to keep coming to youth group, keep listening to our audio blog here, and find out what it means to go deeper with God. And so that's what we're going to be talking about this year. And specifically this month, we're going to be talking about giving. And giving in the sense of not only ourselves, we're going to be talking about money, but we're also going to be talking about giving of ourselves and giving of our time and our talents. And so you can kind of see here just... We're talking about giving, and what does that mean? What does it mean to give, and what kind of benefits do we have from giving? We live in a culture, we live in a society that says we should be all about me, and looking out for number one, and taking as much as I can for myself. And, the Bible gives us a very different idea, a very different picture of how we should live our lives. Jesus himself said, it is better to give than to receive. It's better to give of yourself than to just receive stuff and receive stuff. That's the best word we can use, really. So we're talking about this idea of giving. And one of the things that I said Wednesday night, I showed this slide here, and it's a slide of Mother Teresa, and as you can read, it says, and this is a quote from her, it says, "At the end of our lives, we will not be judged by how many diplomas we have received, how much money we have made, or how many great things we have done. we will be judged by. I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was homeless, and you took me in. And that idea that she's talking about there is just one of giving of ourselves to other people, giving of ourselves to feed people, to clothe them when they have nothing, to give them a home when they are homeless. And Jesus says that this is the way to live life, the way that we can be satisfied, the way that we can be doing what God has called us to do, is giving of ourselves. And so one of the things we did Wednesday was I had everyone read this section in Matthew. And it's Matthew, if I bring the slide up here, it is Matthew 25:34 through 36. And I'm just going to read it. If you have a Bible with you, if you're listening to this with a Bible, that's awesome. But look at this passage of Scripture, highlight it, underline it in your Bible, because it's a great passage. So Jesus is talking about the future, and he's talking about towards the end of time, he's going to be the one who's ruling, and he's separating the people, and this is how he separates them. He says this in verse 34. Then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me." That's really powerful stuff. So we got into groups and kind of came up with some ideas about how we as a group, as a youth group, can put these words into action. It's cool to read them, and it's cool to think about it, but it's something totally different to put them into action, to put them into practice, to look at this passage and say, okay, Jesus says that we should, when people are thirsty, we should give them something to drink. When they're hungry, we should feed them. We should clothe them. We should look after them when they're sick and visit them when they're in prison. So what are some ways, what are some things that we as a youth group can do to put these into practice? As the slide says here, we made a list of at least 6 things. Oh, I'm sorry. We made a list of each group of 6 people. There we go. That's what it says. Each group of 6 people came up with a list of things that we as a youth group can do to fulfill these, to put them into action. And we came up with some great stuff: fundraising, gaining money, doing some charity stuff, raising money so that we can send it off to someplace. And actually this month we are raising money for Ken and Andrea Taylor down in Haiti. They are doctors, and they work at in orphanages, and they have a clinic down there. And so we're raising money to send to them because they always need money for medical supplies. And one of the things that they do that's so cool is that they don't charge people when they come in. Even they give out medicine and they give out all of this stuff, and they don't charge people when they come in. And so that's an awesome thing, but they have a lot of expenses. And so we're raising money to send down there. But these words are much more than just raising money. These words, what Jesus is saying is that we need to take action. And so we came up with a lot of cool ideas in youth group this past Wednesday on what we can do as a group, how we can go out and be a light in our community, how we can go out and serve people. We talked about collecting clothes and jackets and coats for the winter months, but we also talked about going to Hagerstown, going to Chambersburg, and to the homeless shelters and giving the clothes to people. We talked about going to a soup kitchen as a group and serving a meal to people. And those are the kinds of things that the series this month is really focused around. What can we do to give? How can we give of ourselves? And so we're going to be talking a lot about a lot of different subjects throughout this month. Just of what we can do as a group. And, if you have any ideas, I encourage you to get in contact with me somehow, either through our Facebook, or you could send me a message on Twitter or email. I'm going to give all of our contact information here in 1 second, and so that would be cool. But so that's what we talked about this Wednesday. But I want to let you know about a few things that are coming up. I'm going to bring up this slide here. This Sunday, we are going to do our Rails to Trails bike ride. It's something we do every year. It's a lot of fun. We're going to be meeting at the church at 1 p.m. That's Otterbein United Brethren Church. We're meeting here at 1 p.m. and we'll be back by 7. And we're going to be getting some pizza at CC's down in Hagerstown on our way back. So dinner will be provided. I encourage you to bring some friends out. It's going to be a great time. The Rails to Trails thing it's really fun. It's sort of flat, a little bit of an incline here or there, but we go through some really beautiful scenery, and it's just a fun time of hanging out together and getting a little exercise, riding bikes, and so that's pretty cool. I just encourage you to come out to that. The next thing I want to mention is we have our all-you-can-eat breakfast coming up in. Actually, it's next weekend. Oh my goodness, October 11th from 6:30 to 10. We always need help to prepare the food, to serve the food, and to work it and run it. So if you have some time next Saturday and in the morning, it's always not always a fun thing to get up so early. But hey, we're serving breakfast and it's a fundraiser, and so it's cool. We have a good time. If you need community service hours I know some seniors this year in their civics class need community service. You can come and help us, and I will sign the paper for you. This is definitely a thing that we do for the community, so that's really cool. Next is our fall retreat, and spaces for this are very limited, and so if you want to come, we gotta let us know right away. But it's November 7th through the 9th. It's $80 per person. And just remember, money with us is never an issue. If you want to come, I don't want money to be the thing that stops you, because it's always a really fun experience. We're going to be talking about some really cool stuff this year, stuff that just we as believers need to think about. And even if you're not a believer, still come, because this is stuff that you need to think about also. But I encourage you to come out. You can contact us at the bottom of the slide. The contact information is there. Lastly, another thing that we are doing is we're trying to get new T-shirts for our group. And so they're going to be $12 per person. If you want one of these shirts, the slide here, it just kind of shows the basic outline of what it's going to be. We're getting them from Church Artworks. Our name is going to be there in the center. You see the kind of going along with the Go Deeper theme with the roots. It's going to be green and against a darker shirt. So if you are interested in one, there's a sign-up sheet in the youth room. Put your name, your shirt size, and when you give me the money for it, I'll just check your name off, and it'll be all good. And so if you would like one of those, you're interested, I really encourage you to sign up for that, because we need to know. We need to know how many we're going to be getting. So lastly, let me throw this slide up here and just give you our contact information. If you at any point want to contact us, you can always find us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and you can see what our names are on there, on that slide. But also, if you can always call and text me. My number's right there, and that email address is my church email if you have any questions or just need to contact me for anything. Hey, I thank you so much for listening. I'm glad that this can work out, and I hope to be doing this a lot more. I love making stuff like this. It's a lot of fun. So I'm hoping that we're going to make this a regular thing for our youth group. I know a lot of people said that they wanted some kind of audio blog on YouTube that they could listen to if they missed a youth group. So I'm glad that we can do this. So I hope that you will join us next time, continue with our series on giving. We're going to be talking about a lot of cool stuff. So thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you later.